Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. Haribol.
Dandavad. Dandavad. Dandavad.
Dandavat. Dandavat Prabhu Vishambar.
Dandavat Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Hare Krishna Hari Ananda Prabhu, Krishna Keshav Prabhu, all devotees. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Hare
Dandavat. Dandavat Kesha Prabhu. Happy to see you.
How's everyone? How's Lakshmi doing?
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you. Rashmi is fine now. Yes. No problem. Yeah. No problem aquí. Ya.
Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you, Maharaj.
Vandana.
Yes, Maharaj. Vandana.
Vandeham. Guru. Yutapala Kamalam.
Siddhu
Srirupam. Bhagavatam. Sahasana Madhunatam. Saraswativam. Sadhaitam. Madhuditam.
Krishna Chaitanya Deva Srila Krishna Padam Sahalana Prabhutam Krishna
Timirandasya Jana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Guru Varga Vandita Mahavanditaya Sada Parampara Prachalita Rajya Pramurta Krite Bhakti Nirmala Nirjarasya Samraksham Sadaram Vande Gurudevam Manatasya Sarvaryam Nijam
Avista Supurakam Guru
Ganair Ashesha Sambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipunam Sri Rupa Pantanukam Govinda Vidam Ujjvalam Bharatanam Bhaktyamritam Sundaram Vande Vishwaguru Vishwadevya Bhagavat Premno Hivija Pradam
Devadiya Tanu Shushanda Vadanam Malarka
Malarka
Selasitam
Chilanchitam
Tadradanda Purasadeko Vadana Vairagya Vijabudi Siddhanta Suvakilasitam Saraswatanam Vanam Manditam Sudapampadeka Vandanam Sridharam Saraswati
Vidito
Gaudiya
Gaudiya
Guranvaye
Guranvaye
Bhattogaduriva Prabhata Gagane
Yoga
Yoga
Sankirtane
Mayavada
Mayavada
Timingilo
Timingilo Dragatam
Tajivani
Dhritya Jivanima Krishna Prema Sudabdigahana Sukam Radha Prabhum Tam Bhaje
Namo
Namo
Gaura
Gaura
Kishoraya
Kishoraya
Bhaktavamurtaye
Bhaktaye
Gorangri Prabhavingaya
Purnavingaya
Radhabhavani
Radhabhavani
Sevini
Sevini Hare Krishna.
Vande Bhakti
Vande Bhakti
Vinodam Sri
Vinodam
Gaura Shakti
Sri Gaura Shakti
Swarupakam
Swarupakam
Bhaktavatapya
Bhakti
Saramjam
Shastragna Samrajam
Radhavasa
Radharasa
Sudhanidhi
Sudhanidhim
Gauranaya
Gaura
Sita
Rajashri
Sesai
Shishir
Vaishnavir
Vaishnavairon
Vigraham
Vigraham
Jagannath Prabhu
Jagannatha Prabhu
Mande
Mandir
Madhira
Premabhim Riddha
Vaishnava
Vaishnavam
Vancha Kalpataruyasha
Kripa
Kripa
Sindhu
Sindhuyaya
Bhaiva Cha
Patitana
Patitanam
Pavaneyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnaveyo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namaha
Namaha Panchatattvaatmakam Krishnam
Panchatattvamakam Krishnam
Bhaktarupa Sarupakam Bhaktavataram
Bhaktarupatam
Bhaktakyam
Bhaktavataram
Namami Bhakta
Bhaktakyam
Shaktikam
Namami Bhaktashaktikam Namo
Krishna
Bhagavatanshaya
Prema Pradayate
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Pradayate
Chaitanya Namne
Krishnaya Krishna
Gauratise
Chaitanya
Nama
Rame Pura Suise Namaha
Jatam Surato Pangor Mama
Pangor Mama
Mandamatirgati
Mandamate Gati
Matsarvasya Padambujo Radha Madana Mohanam Hare Krishna Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Shammasanastha
Sri Gandharva
Sri
Srila Govinda
Gandharva Srila
Devao
Govinda Devo
Prestalivi
Prestalibi
Sevamano
Sevamano
Smarami
Smarami
Srimad
Srimad
Saraswati
Saraswati
Bangsi Vatatata Stita Darsambenu Savane
Krishna Savaner
Gopi
Gopir
Gopina
Gopina
Hirishuna
Tashriyastu
Jai Tulasi De Jai
Priya
Vrindavan
Ekeshva Sacha
Krishna
Krishna
Ki Prade
Bhakti
Devi
Prade Devi
Satyavata Namo
Satyavate
Namah
Namo Namaha Atah Naktva
Raguru
Ragurun Gurun
Guru
Bhagavatarthan Vyasa Jagadgurun Natva Tato Jayamudire Sat Parikara Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundara Padam Padmanam Jayatsu
Krishna
Shri Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda Shri
Nityananda
Advaita
Shri
Gadadhara
Advaita Gadadhara
Srivasari Gaura
Srivasari Gaur
Bhaktavrinda Hare
Bhaktarinda
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Rama Hare
Rama
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 Rama Rama Hare Hare
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Chaitanya, Srila Santa Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai
Jai
Srila Govardhana ki Jai.
Jai
Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
Jai
Glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the worldwide devotees. All Premanandi, Hari Hari
Hari
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol Vishnupada Ashtottara Shata His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Puri Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai
Dhanyavad Sananda Krishna Prabhu. Hari Bol.
Dandavas Maharaj and the devotees,
Dandava Prabhu Dandava
Ariananda and the
Hare
family.
Hari Prabhu thank you
Hare
Dhanyavad
Krishna Krishna Prabhu Dandavat
Dr. Linda.
Andhra Maharaj, Sandhu, good to see
Dandava
you all.
Didi Hari Bol
Hari
Haribo.
Hari
Haribol.
Jai Jai Vishnu Pai, Paramahamsa, Parivraja Kachaya, Asatana Sata Shri Sripad, Bhakti Dakha Sukadeva, Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Jai
Sri
Jai Jai
Prapanna-jivanamrtam ki Jai.
Jai Jai Jai
We're reading from chapter 9, the words of nectar from the Supreme Lord, on the topic of Sharanagati, text number 32. Sridhara eva sarva sat asat jagat karanat karanatvam. And some from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Aham evasam evagre nanyad yad sarasatmana. Astaraham yad itatscha yo vashishite so smiyaham. Actually, this is one of the chapter sloki of the Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Bhagavad Gita, there are chapter sloki, 4 chapter sloki. Chapter means 4 slokas that summarize the entire Bhagavad Gita, beginning with Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. And then the key 4 key verses of the Bhagavad Gita are given there in chapter 10 of the Gita. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, there are also 4 chapter slokas, 4 central slokas. And this one is one of them. Aham Evasa Nivad. And so, Sridhar's comments, Sri Hari is the cause of all worlds, gross and subtle. This is basically the same verse we find in the Bhagavad Gita. Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Krishna is saying, everything is coming from me. And here Bhagavatam is saying, Krishna is the cause of everything. The translation of the Bhagavatam verse is prior to the creation of this universe, only I existed. The gross, the subtle, and even the indefinable, non-differentiated absolute Brahman, nothing whatsoever existed separately from thee. After the creation, I exist as the aggregate entity, and after the cataclysm, only I shall remain. Oh, that's a very clear, concise statement. Huh? Krishna is saying that how we can understand everything. Everything is coming from him. Before anything existed, he was there. It means he is the original cause. He is the origin. He is the source of everything. The origin, the original thing. In the philosophy, in Aristotle philosophy, he says, to understand something, you must understand first its formal cause. Formal cause means its original cause, where it comes from. If you don't know where a thing comes from, you will not be able to understand it properly. Can you imagine if someone came to this planet, from another planet, an alien from another world came to this world, and he saw all these big buildings. Let's say he came to New York City. He saw these big buildings. Then you may think, oh, what kind of rock formations are there in this planet? They look like rock formations with windows and everything. Very strange. How can a planet produce such formations? Because he doesn't know that people had to make those buildings. And that those buildings are not natural products of the earth. They're artifacts, what they call them, artifacts. They are made, handmade, manufactured by the human species. But an alien doesn't know that, so they'll think, well, this is a natural product of the earth. And then he'll try to figure out how did the nature, what type of nature they can make structures like this. You know, some very intelligent nature is there to make structures that people could live in and so forth. Right? If you try to analyze it from that degree, then their science would have to think, well, how could the material nature produce such things? I like that. They would be spending years and years trying to analyze those buildings as if they were natural products of the earth and become all confused about how the nature itself could produce those buildings. It would be the wrong process, the wrong type of investigation. But it's the same with us all, actually. When we analyze an organism, a living organism, because we don't know that how the organism is produced. The natural organism seems to be produced from nature.
I missed something. Can you say it again?
But the organism is produced from nature, but it's not produced in that way. And not produced only from nature. According to the Vedic knowledge, scriptural knowledge, we know that life organisms are produced by a combination of spirit and nature. When spirit comes in contact with nature, then a living organism can be born. Then the soul is imbued with the body. And there's a combination of body and soul, and not just the body. Hare Krishna, Tony Prabhu, Ramji. They are both body and soul. So by looking at just how the natural nature produces a living organism, they miss the point. They can't understand propaganda. They're going on year after year, being totally confused how this living organism could come from just earth and water and molecules and the sun. So because they don't know the origin of the thing, they can't study it properly. They don't know how to study it properly. They're looking in the wrong direction. So that's why Aristotle pointed out it's very important if you want to study and understand something, to understand where it comes from first, how it got there. Then you can understand, well, what forces are moving it, what kind of stuff it is. And then after that, we also must understand what is its purpose. Why does it exist? What does it exist for? Where it comes from is the first question you must answer. The second question is how is it? What's acting? How does it acting? How is it moving? And the third is how? What is it made of? And the fourth is what does it exist for? For the sake of what does it exist? I give that example of the blind men touching the elephant. And because they don't know the elephant is there, they just can feel different parts. So when they touch the leg, they say, oh, this is a tree trunk. This is the trunk of the tree. Because they can see that thing which that leg is supporting. What it's there for. What is the leg there for? If they can't see what it's for, then they think, oh, maybe it's the tree, or something else, a pole. But once they understand that this is for the elephant to stand on, then they can say, oh, this is the leg. Immediately they can understand it properly. So to understand something, you must know these four things. Huh? Where did it come from? Where's its origin? What's making it move? And what it's made of? And what it's for. Aristotle, so intelligent, huh? He can understand very simple, common sense things That today the scientists have eliminated both the original cause and the final cause. They only study the efficient and the material cause, and they think they have understood everything. The immediate moving force and the matter. They only study those two parts. Therefore, they are, what do you call it? Wild goose chasing. Come up with all wrong ideas, all wrong thinking, all wrong process. They don't really understand anything about that. Only come up with some theories. Of course, there is some benefit. Something is correct there. I mean, there is an efficient cause. There is a material cause. Those are there. And they are studying that, and they are coming up with some actual consequence for their stuff, what they say. Otherwise, how could they create an atomic bomb? Well, now they have discovered the atomic nature of matter by that process. But because they don't know how it originates or what is there for, they're using it for destroying people, killing people, using it for weapons. But if they could understand the mystical origin and the mystical purpose for all these energies, then they would be making some spiritual progress in your life. Rather than this is material, what do you want to say, destructive
Exploitation.
or destruction. And destroying things with this knowledge. Someone who once wrote, said, these scientists, they are becoming gods without first have becoming men. A man, a human being. They're not even human beings. They're becoming gods, having the Lord over everything, and doing whatever they want, completely ignoring the man, the human side of it. What are the Aham evasam bhagni. I am the source, the cause of all things. And when during the dissolution of this creation, another thing the scientists don't recognize, there's a creation of this universe, the Big Bang. Then there's also the dissolution. Manifests, and then it's unmanifest. Yeah? Vishnu breathes out the universe, and then he breathes in, and the universe come back. That's what Krishna is explaining this, huh? I am there, breathing out the universes, and I am there after the universes are again brought back in. Yeah? Pralaya. Pralaya is called Pralaya. Pralaya means the destruction for everything. So just from understanding this, we can get some idea what it means, what Krishna means, that I am the source of everything, and everything is coming from. It also tells us that we should not take anything cheaply. The source of everything is Krishna. We should take a more sacred attitude toward nature, toward everything, everyone. Because we know that Krishna is the source of it. Not that we should worship them as Krishna, but we can recognize their spiritual and divine origin. There's something divine there that is producing them. I don't think it's just cheaply. And in that way, develop a proper attitude of reverence, of respect, proper appreciation of our whole life, for the life of others. So Mahaprabhu told Amanina Manadena, give respect to others, because they are not ordinary. They're not of ordinary nature. Although they seem ordinary to us because of our own lack of proper knowledge, lack of knowledge of what is their origin, what kind of stuff they are. Actually, quite amazing. Scientists are thinking that life is just some molecules moving around. But now, when they study it very carefully, they find, hey, these molecules are not just moving around. They know what they're doing. They're moving in a certain way, and it looks like they're being directed by something, but they don't know what that is. And they can see that in their experiments. If you ever seen some of these animations of what's going on in cell to cell, you see all the molecules are dancing, like dancing to a certain tune, are being orchestrated by a conductor. And they're all going to the right place at the right time and appearing all of a sudden when they're heated. And all these things the scientists are seeing. But they don't know how to explain that. The molecules don't do that. Molecules bump into one another, but they're not sentient, they just bump into one another. Sometimes they react, and sometimes they don't react by chemical process. But there's no such thing in science as how to organize everything. Do it in a very organized way. There's no concept in science that tells how that organization of all these molecules is not like a crystal, whereby the geometry of the molecules, they all fall into place. But this is an active, dynamic system that grows and reproduces and everything. And they cannot understand the mystery behind all of that. Here, Krishna is explaining that his I, the personality of God, is behind everything. Okay. Our next verse, text 33. Nikhila sambandha abhideya prayojanatmaka veda jnanam tasmad svam eva. And the verse from the Bhagavatam again. Jnaname paramam guhyam yad vijnana samanvitam sarahasya angamsha karana karitam maya. The aggregate of knowledge propounded by the Vedas, relation, means, and end, sambandha, avideya, prayojan, arises from him alone. And the translation of the verses To be merciful upon you, do I teach you the most esoteric knowledge of me, including the realization of my nature and entourage, Sambandhata, the inconceivable mystery of loving devotion or prema bhakti, prayojan tattva, and its constituent part in the form of devotional practice or sadhana bhakti, abhideya tattva. Now hear my message attentively and accept what I impart to you. So Krishna is not only the source of everything, but all these other subtle things are also a part of him. His nature, his entourage, his parikat, his associates, and the Leela they engage in. Krishna with his associates. There's a Leela. That means that's also part of that creation is his own Leela. He's creating his own pastimes. He's the source of his own pastimes. With his devotees, he's the source of his devotees and their pastimes and their Leelas. It's all coming from him. And he's also the source of the prema, loving devotion, prayojan tattva, which is the highest achievement or the end of all life, all purpose. And its constituents, the sadhana bhakti, the practice, how to get to that love. He's manifesting his lila, his pastimes, and his devotees, their love for him, and how conditioned souls can develop that love for him. You call these three terms Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojan. Sambandha. What is the position? What is the relationship we have with that origin of everything? Sambandha. What is our relationship? What are we here for? What's going on? If you're looking for, if you have a map, and you're trying to find your way around, the first thing you have to know when you get a map is where you are. Otherwise, where do you look on the map to start? Well, you have to know where your starting point is. Then you put that on the map. Once you get that point, then you can decide, all right, where I want to go and then how to get there. Huh? Otherwise, without knowing where you are, what to start with, then you can even begin to use the map. So Veda is the map. They're mapping out how things go about, what's happening, where we want to go, where we are, and how we manage in this world of these things. So first thing is to know someone, where you are. Then you have to know where you want to go. That's prayojan. First thing is sambandha. You have to know what is prayojan. Where's your destination? Then you can understand how to get there. That's sambandha. That's abhideya. Sambandha, abhideya, prayojan. Where I am, where I want to go, and how do I get there? Huh? Very simple. Where I am, where I want to go, and how do I get there? These are basic things we have to know. And these are all given to us by Krishna. You're not just dropped off here in the material world and then left to yourself if you figure things out. How can you do that? The universe is so big. You don't have any knowledge. Or a destitute position. So Krishna is very kind. No, you are not destitute. I'm giving you the map. Where you are, where you have to go, and how to get there. All these things are taught in Scripture. How you are a part of Krishna, and then how the goal is to again remember Krishna in a loving way, connect with him in the love, and then how to develop that love through Bhakti Yoga. Everything is good there. But we have to just recognize, oh, this is all given to us. All we have to do is follow that. Humbly follow that. With patience, tolerance, without being too proud, and with honoring everything, seeing the divinity in everything, within ourselves and within all things. Very nice. And in this way one can become happy. One can get the perfection of his existence. Text 34. Sri Krishnatmaka Dharmamayam Eva Veda Jnanam Tasmad Pramandadigatam Adigatam Kalena Nasta Pralaye Vaniyam Vaniyam Veda Samvigita Mayado Brahmane Prokta Dharmo Yasyam Paratmaka. Enter from the Bhagavad Gita. In the Mahar's commentary, the teaching of eternal religion, non-different from Sri Krishna, is received from Sri Krishna by Lord Brahma. Eternal religion is also Krishna. Everything is coming from Krishna. The eternal religion or Dharma is coming from Krishna. Who is Sri Krishna? And it's also spoken parampara to Lord Brahma by Lord. The message of the Vedas is eternal religion. It's called Sanatana Dharma, non-different from me. When in the course of time, those eternal teachings disappeared from view with the universal cataclysm, I imparted them to Lord Brahma at the dawning of a new creation. Krishna is the source of everything. And he is also the source of Sanatana Dharma. And that's Sanatana Dharma because it's coming from Krishna and non-different from Krishna. Whatever comes from Krishna, that is also Krishna. And the Sanatana Dharma is coming from Krishna, then it is also Krishna. And when these teachings of the Vedas are lost, or somehow people forget about them, or the world is destroyed, and those teachings no longer can be found anywhere in the world, Krishna himself comes and teaches them to start the new world again, the new universe, and teaches to Lord Brahma. In this way, those teachings are preserved eternally. That's why it's called Sanatana. Sanatana Dharma. Everyone has their Dharma, has their duties. There's something to do in this world. But that which is eternal, that which never changes, that is called Sanatana Dharma. And what is that? What is our Sanatana Dharma? What is Krishna presenting as Sanatana?
Gopi Bharta Kamalayor Dasu Dasani Das.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained that to Sanatan, that Jiver Swarupoy Krishna Nityanas. This is your eternal Krishna Nityanas, or at a higher level than you are, the servant of the gopis, servant of the servant of the servants. This is your Dharma. Whatever Dharma you may have for this worldly kingdom, you also have an eternal Dharma, an eternal duty. And you have to turn to that ultimately. That is called surrender. We turn to our eternal duty. And remember our eternal duty and engage in that spirit of Krishna. And they are performing our sanatana. This book, Prapanna-jivanamrtam, is a book containing all the essential verses, not all of them, but many of the essential verses regarding this topic of surrender, which means turning back to our eternal Dharma, sanatana, as Krishna Nityanas, eternal service of Krishna. That's all. We collected all those verses from various sources and put them in this one book. And we can focus upon this one thing, Christianity. Okay. Any questions, any comments you want to make?
Maharaj,
Yes, Guru?
Sanatana Dharma is no difference, is Brahma and the Sri Krishna. The eternal message of Sri Brahma, Sri Krishna.
Eternal.
Can you repeat that, Prabhu?
Sanatana Dharma is message of the Vedas. Is no different, is the Sri Krishna and the Brahma.
They're not different.
Yeah, no different.
Sanatana Dharma is non-different from Brahma and Krishna. Is that what you're saying?
See, yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. Yes, that's Sanatana Dharma. It is being taught from Brahma, from Lord Krishna to Lord Brahma. That Sanatana Dharma is being taught to him, to Brahma, and that is called Veda. Now Veda, what is Veda? Veda is teaching Sanatana Dharma. And that, what it is teaching is what Krishna told to Brahma. How to, what is your real purpose in this life? What's it all about? The Veda, that's the map, like I told. And in that Sanatana Dharma, there are three things you must know. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. We must know these three things to engage properly and to understand properly Sanatana. Where we are, what is our relation with Krishna, as we are servants, what we want to achieve, which is pray, Krishna pray, or Radha Dasya, in the vice in our Gaudiya Vaishnava, become servants of Radharani, Prayojana, and then Abhideya. What is the means? How do we do that? Through the process of Bhakti Yoga. These three things are subordinate categories of Sanatana. If you practice these three things, then you are practicing Sanatana Dharma. Is it clear?
Yes, Maharaj, is the very important prayojana, sambandha,
Abhideya.
abhidaya.
These are the three components to this Sanatana Dharma.
Never thought about it like that.
Huh?
Never thought of them like that. The three components of Sanatana Dharma.
Is the three components of the Bhakti Yoga, sambandha, prayojana
Yes.
also?
Yes. Same. Bhakti Yoga means Abhideya. Bhakti Yoga means Abhideya, the path, the process. If you know where you are, that's the starting point, and you know where you want to go, the end point, then the in between the starting point and the end point is what? That's the path you have to take. And that path is called Bhakti Yoga. So where you are, where you want to go, and how to get there. Bhakti Yoga is the message for getting to your goal. Of course, in the transcendental plane, the path and the goal are the same. So by engaging in Bhakti Yoga, you're also engaging in love. You're also developing love of God. You also are process of manifesting or showing that you have some love for Krishna. Simply by taking up the path of Bhakti Yoga. Just like it mentions also in the Bhagavatam, the ocean of material existence is very difficult to cross. Not to cross the ocean of material existence, the gigantic ocean. There's so many dangers and waves, hurricanes, and so many things crossing the ocean. He said, but when you get on the boat, the ship that is being steered by the guru, commander, the captain, the ship who has a captain, as soon as you get on that boat, then the whole ocean disappears. And you have like the calf, the water and the footprint of a calf. What does that mean? The whole ocean disappears, and you only have the water and the calf's footprint. And that just by engaging in devotional service, by agreeing, accepting that you are going to engage in devotional service, you already achieved the goal. You've already developed love of God. And that can only increase more and more.
Ariananda sent a question,
What's
comment.
your question?
Dhanavad Pranams Maharaj. Just comment that, for example, I cannot measure distances with a thermometer. I cannot measure the amount of light with a magnifying glass. Each thing has its own study tool and process. Therefore, science with material instruments will never be able to explain the spiritual matters and mysteries of life because those mysteries are outside their range of action. Not even philosophers can explain. It is only possible through the authority of revealed scripture and the agent sent by the Supreme. While scientists don't understand it, they will always be trying to give speculative explanations. A blind man cannot guide another blind man. Haribol, Pranam, Heart.
Thank you. Harinanda Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Jai, Jai.
Very nice.
Dandavad Pranam Maharaj.
Nandava Pranam Maharaj.
Maharaj,
What? Another question?
continue, So, Dandavat Maharaj, that was a beautiful explanation on the whole Sambandha, Avidya, and Prayojana. Very simply, you explained it in a very simple manner, Maharaj. Thanks for that. Continuing on Hariyananda Prabhu's this comment, there's one famous Indian mathematician called Sri Ramanuja. I saw this quote in Sripad Maharaj's books also. I think the Sri Ramanuja told for religion, God is at the beginning, and for science, God is at the end. I remember Maharaj. I think I read it in one of Sripad Maharaj's books only. Bhakti Sarvadhamodar Maharaj's book. This quote was there in the first page or second page. It was there.
Faith. The scientists don't have faith in Krishna. And the devotee has faith. Difference between the devotee and the scientist. The devotee has immediate faith. Yes, there is God. The scientists aren't sure, so they have to try to investigate. And then when they finally become frustrated and say, oh no, this is so complex, the only way it could happen is if there is God. They become so frustrated, so bewildered by seeing the mystery, the wonder that is even this material nature. And they understand, oh, finally, there must be something which is controlling all of this. And the devotees say, see, I told you so. Okay. My Dhanavad. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thanks,
You do
Hare
thanks,
well.
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Thanks, Dandavat to all devotees.
I love
Jai
you
Jai.
all.
Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Yeah.
Shanta Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Yeah.
Love you all.
This is the
Thank you.
Shikadeva pictures.